What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another update, back here with Brian Daigle. Let's get straight into it, because we were speaking in the last update about where is Johan Lange, what is he actually doing? And Paul O'Keefe has made light of a situation where he says Vinay Venkatesham and Rafi Mawson are the ones negotiating deals at Tottenham Hotspur at this moment in time, obviously under the stewardship or alongside the stewardship of Roberto De Zerbi, who's very heavily linked to all the deals that we're doing at this moment in time. So again, it brings up the question, where is Johan Lange? Because he is nowhere near any deal right now, which is crazy because he is our sporting director.
Well, it just shows his sporting director's days are numbered. Hopefully, if he's being kept away, listen, we all aren't happy with Vinay. There's no two ways about it. But Lange is the main one who has been horrific since he's been here, and hearing this is just more good news, in my opinion. God, we'll see if Vinay can get things over. But we spoke earlier about Mawson, didn't we? That we think, or it seems that he's having a big influence in it. It looks like he is.
Yeah. And, you know, if we can get the deals like a Sandro Tonali or a Mateus Fernandes over the line, it shows the good work that he's doing. Because, you know, we're quite evident with the deals that Lange tried to get over the line last summer, and Eze and Morgan Gibbs-White failed to do so. And if we sign these two players, it'll probably be the most high-profile, or specifically Tonali, will be the most high-profile signing that we've ever made in the Premier League era, probably.
Yeah, remember the kind of contracts he was signing at Man City. This is like a low wage to what he's been signing off. So, yeah, it looks like his influence may be having an impact, and we really hope it does, because if those two come in, they're big money. Big money.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's move on, and you know where we're going to go next. Sandro Tonali. Some more updates coming out about him. Lee Ryder, who's a Newcastle journalist for the Chronicle, and also this article is in the Mirror, saying that Tottenham have offered Sandro Tonali a 6-year contract, 270k per week, if Spurs reach Newcastle's tipping point in terms of an official bid. It's just the same thing over and over again. You've got the contract done if you meet Newcastle's valuation. However, he says that this deal could proceed in the next week. Tottenham in total, if you include bonuses, it looks like being an astonishing outlay from Spurs to get Tonali over the line, worth 200 million when you take into account salary, bonuses, signing on fees, and the amount they're going to have to pay Newcastle as well. So the whole package of this deal is expected to reach 200 million pounds, which is nuts, isn't it? 200 million pounds.
That's more than we spend in Windows, period.
Yeah.
Let alone for obviously the 6-year wages. But if he gets us back into European football and Champions League football, it's going to pay for itself. It is a massive step up from what we're used to and the numbers that we hear. And it is a mouth-watering number when you say it, isn't it? 200 million. But this is the kind of deals we're going to have to get done if we want to go back and be amongst the big boys. It's just a fact of where football is.
Yeah, and also, like, if Spurs weren't involved in this deal, you'd probably think, like, maybe it would be a bit of a cheaper deal if one of the other clubs was seriously in for him, like an Arsenal, whoever it may be, like a Man City. But because of where we've been the last 2 years, we're going to have to pay over the odds if we want top talent, isn't it? And that's what we've been saying for so many years as well.
Yep, well, I mean, you just got to look when you go back to the Kyle Walker sale and how long it took to get to Pedro Porro with buying cheap, buy twice, 3, 4 times, plus. We've got ourselves into this situation, and we were told we have this massive advantage of being able to outspend people, and because of that, it looks like we're going to have to, doesn't it?
Yeah. Do you think we need to be telling everyone that we've got this massive... Because then teams are just going to be like, you know what, fine, we will charge you over the odds. This
is rock and a hard place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone knows when Man City are coming in or whether they've got money to spend. So will they look at us differently? Possibly. They know how desperate we are. But again, you've got to pay for your sins. And if that's what we're going to have to do to get ourselves out of it and back to where we want to be, then unfortunately they're going to have to take their medicine and have to do this.
Yeah, but I mean, look, we've heard about the Tonali and De Zerbi thing, but the reality is with Manchester City, it's a bit different with like Liverpool, Cities, Arsenals, because they're at the top of the league. They're the top 3 spaces in the league for however many years now. and players are desperate to join them, and they will go on strike. They'll do what they need to do to get their move, and that, in case, can bring down the price at times.
Yep.
Tottenham's a different case. We need to put massive money down on the table if we're going to convince these players to come in. And I think we have blown other teams out the water. We heard Arsenal have walked away because they can't compete with the finances on this deal. Manchester City, I know they've just spent 130 million or however much it was on Elliot Anderson, but because of that, they're not going to compete with the finances on the deal. So we are literally blowing teams out the water in terms of the finances.
Yeah, we are. I mean, I still think Arsenal and Man City could do it, but it probably will affect other players they're trying to get. And they said Tonali isn't as important to them as he clearly is to us. But like you said, this is what we're going to need to do. We've wanted to see this, and if they'd done it earlier, we might not have had to been paying the stupid amounts and going so far into it. But we are where we are, and the only way we get ourselves out of it is by bringing in pure quality and backing our manager.
Yeah, look, it's a positive at the end of the day, isn't it? Because as much as we might be having to pay over the odds for like a Van Hecker, for like a Tonali, whoever else we bring in through the window, even Fernandes, 80 million is an overpayment.
Yeah.
We've never heard, every time when Daniel Levy was doing the deals, he would have walked away from Van Hecker, he would have walked away from Tonali right now, he would have walked away from Fernandes. If he doesn't feel like he's getting good value for money, he would have walked away and we would have ended up getting a lesser player. Now it seems like they have turned over a new leaf and they're willing to overpay. Look, Fabio Paratici, when he was at Spurs, he said it's worth paying 10, 20 million over the odds if you get the player rather than miss out on having to go for a lesser player. And that was everything that Daniel Levy stood against. And I don't know how these two even got on, to be honest, when they had those kind of philosophies. But it looks as though we are going more of the Paratici kind of negotiating route. And the Daniel Levy one is look back far in the distance now, hopefully.
Please God, in our rearview mirror. But like we said, there's a big difference to be being prepared to pay it and actually going ahead and paying it. And Spurs need to show that it ain't all mouth. And here you go. Here's the XYZ for Tonali. Get this one done. And then people will start thinking. And Spurs fans can start going, do you know what? Maybe this window, and hopefully many future windows, which they'll have to prove, this may be the new way. This deal has got to get over the line. It's got to get over the line in the next week. I really hope so. And I think it will. I really think it will. A couple of other bits that are going on. Lucas Bergvall, we know that he's all but handed in a transfer request at Tottenham. Di Marzio has said that Tottenham have recently rejected a €50 million bid for Lucas Bergvall. He says it's likely from an English club and likely from Nottingham Forest. So Spurs are dancing with Marinakis again in the transfer market. €50 million, that's a big fee though, to reject. That's a massive opening bid, if true, isn't it? That is, we would have thought it had been well below. Throw in a Gibbs White, and take some of that fee off. I'll be all over it. But that is I didn't think the opening bid for him would be at 50, and if they're turning that down, it just shows how mad the market is, isn't it? For a guy who's had like 2 seasons, been injured for a lot of this season, and hardly played in the latter stages. That's a massive bid to start proceedings, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, €50 million is like 42, 43 million pounds. What we have heard, Spurs want 45 to 50 million, but surely we got to take into account a Marinakis tax. Marinakis, we can't be selling him for less than 60 to him, surely. Damn right. I mean, you just look at the graphic you got now. We've got market value there at 35 million. Yeah. So we're already above that. But yeah, either we screw them for extra money big time, or we find a compromise where Morgan Gibbs White comes our way with some cash. Anyway, to screw that man over. Anyway, that man deserves it big time. And then if Spurs don't do some kind of media response going, oh, you always win, do you? Then they've missed out on an absolute... a massive coup, but they could have a bit of banter with them, and deserved. If we were to sign Morgan Gibbs White, his video when we announce him has just got to be like, "We always win here at Tottenham," or something along those lines. Got to be him in like one of the old Dave burglar suits and that gun behind the head in the hostage negotiation. Got to rip the piss out of that interview.
Yeah, but look, we'll see what happens. But yeah, 50 million as an opening bid, which is led to believe to be Nottingham Forest. It might not be, but if it is, an opening bid is an opening bid. So let's see how high they can go.
Exactly, big time.
Yeah, and last but not least, Spurs have been linked with Martin Baturina. I'm not sure if you know much about him, but he's been playing for Croatia in the World Cup. He scored that fantastic goal against England, the first goal that we conceded.
Okay.
Unbelievable finish from him. Plays for Como. Matti Moretto says that Tottenham, Villa and Bayern Munich all showing interest in Como midfielder Martin Baturina. The Italian club intend to keep him and are demanding at least 80 million euros to consider selling the Croatian midfielder. I'm like, there is no chance you're getting anywhere close to 80 million euros for him. But look, he is a fantastic player, attacking midfielder. He's been deployed on the left for Como. He's played up front. He's played in centre mid. He's played in the 10. Very much a versatile player.
Yep.
I'd be interested, but I mean, 80 million is way too excessive. And I know we've been speaking about paying over the odds, but that's too much, man.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be the summer of 80 million, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With where we're going. I
80
will
million
say
is the new 40 million.
Yeah, it probably is, bro. But I hate to say this, but Fabregas has done a wonderful job there. Fair play. What he's done in his first managerial job, and if you look at Italian football, they seem to be the only one that aren't struggling for money.
Yeah.
So they and he's got Champions League. They can demand a fee. So I think this is a non-starter. Obviously, they've had the big outlay for Paz, haven't they? So yeah, there's going to be rumours, but I can't see us going 80 million here. Especially if we get the two Fernandes and Tonali over. But Como, you need to look at some of their players and what Fabregas has done with them. And like I said, I hate saying it, but you look at new managers up and coming, he's done fantastic there.
Yeah, he's a fantastic manager. The job he's done there has been incredible. Nothing short of incredible. At Champions League football next season with Como.
Yep.
That's
exactly.
mad. That's mad.
Exactly. I mean, he'll be a future rival manager, surely, when he carries on like this. Even if Alonso messes up, Chelsea will probably have him on their radar. Fair play to him.
He might even be the next Arsenal manager.
Could be. I mean, but this is the thing. He's got a young team there, talented. This guy I don't know enough about to even speak about, in all honesty. Apart from the goal he scored against us was magnificent, really well taken. And we'll see. But I think this one is a complete non-starter.
Yeah, most likely. Especially as it looks as though our remit this year is Premier League talent. It looks like everyone that we're looking to bring in is all Premier League players and experienced Premier League players. So I find this one a bit unlikely as well. But you look at those teams that are linked with him. I mean, Villa, obviously Champions League team for next year, and Bayern Munich. And Bayern Munich rarely miss as well. So the boy has talent. There's no doubt about it. But I just don't think Spurs will pay big for him this summer, especially as, go on.
Also, you add to this, Ben, sorry to cut in there, bro. We talk about Van Hecke coming to us after missing out on European football for Brighton, but there's a massive difference between Champions League football and no European football compared to Europa League or Conference League, and this is a massive thing for Como. I think everyone who got him there would want to be part of it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you never know, though, because like once the Premier League come calling or a team like Bayern Munich come calling, you don't know when it's going to come again. And
True.
Look, Como is, they've had fantastic couple of years under Fabregas, but playing in the Premier League or playing for Bayern Munich is a different kettle of fish, surely.
Yeah, you could have it with that. You could have it with that, but his young age, and if he carries on the way, what you're saying is he's been going, I don't think they'll be going away anytime soon, these clubs.
Probably. There's just been a little update as well on Harry Kane. I know he's not a Spurs player and Spurs aren't involved, but it looks as though there's nothing in these Barcelona links. He's going to sign a new contract at Bayern, so that probably puts to bed any talk of or any hope of him coming back to Spurs, eh?
Yeah, I mean, you look at it. He has said,
and that was Ornstein, by the way.
Ornstein said what?
Ornstein says Kane's likely to sign a new deal at Bayern Munich, despite Barcelona interest.
There you go. So that's gospel. And you look at it, I was just about to say, I've been checking up on a couple of things since this news came out. Him and Kate and his kids are delightfully happy in Germany. Harry Kane's one of those players that he ain't going anywhere for money. He wants success. And him and his family are very, very settled in Germany. Why rock the boat? Why rock the boat? He's adored there, like he was adored with us, still is. Yeah, he'll stay at Germany. Maybe at the end of that contract, he'll go, right, 48 goals for Tottenham. Break Shearer's record. Here we go.
Yeah. Just more thing on the Baturina thing. Apparently, inquiries have been sent of about 55 million for him. I'm not sure if they've been from Spurs or from these clubs, but Matti Moretto is a very reliable journalist. So you do kind of listen when he speaks. So it's interesting if this one does develop a bit more.
Do you reckon if this one develops, one of the other two that we've been talking about non-stop are... Would you say this is more a Fernandez type player, or would you say this is a more Tonali type player?
For sure, Fernandez, but I still think they're different positions. I think Baturina is more of like a natural 10 kind of thing, more in the forward line, where Matías Fernandez will play in the double pivot. So I don't think they're linked.
Okay, so what you say? This could be the Simmons, Maddison, and this guy competition.
Yeah, and he's also played a lot of football out on the left for Como this season.
Well,
that's like a dual player. They can play it in the middle and the left.
That is a plus. I mean, if you said him or Savinho, who would you choose?
I need to see more of Baturina play, to be honest. I've seen him in that game against England and, not too much apart from that, so I can't really make that judgment call. Same
here. So we'll wait and see.
So, yeah, that is your Tottenham update for today. We live in hope. Some more stuff is going to happen today or tomorrow, whenever. Right. We'll bring it to you here first on We Are Tottenham TV. But thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.